In this video, we will see dry run of the code. So now let's do a dry run of this problem. So let's start. So I have n, first of all, n is board0.length. So what is basically my board 0? So board 0 is nothing, that's the first row, right? So you can simply say your board 0th row, that means first row, and first row is size of n, 9. So my n is 9, right? I will call this function now. Here I have not written the call, but I will call this function solve, right, with the board and with the value of 0 comma 0. Let me use different color. I'll call this function solve with the board 0 comma 0. That means I will call for this one, right? And I will come here. Okay, I will check is my row is equals to 9. So first of all, what is now row? What will be column? And what will be my next row? And what will be my next column? That should be clear. Can I bit a more lighter version of it? Yes, lighter making sense. So let's see. So next row and next column. So let's start here. What is your row? When you are calling this, the row is 0, column is 0. Okay. Now you are coming here. Your next row will be row, same. So next row will be 0. What will be your next column? So column will be column plus 1. So it was 0. So next column will be 1. Let me see the a bit side. Yes, it will be 1. Now is your column is equals to 8? No, column is equals to 0 only. So it is not equal. So I won't come in the if condition and I will check is my board row comma column is not equals to this dot. And yes, true. It is not equals to there is something filled. So I will return again one function call. I will do one more function call with the board. And what will be the next row and next column? It will be 0 and 1. So I will call with this one. Again, now when I'm calling this, what is my next row? Basically row is 0, column is 1, right? I will come here, is your row is 9. I will say next row will be same row. So next row will be same 0. Next column will be column plus 1. So column is 1. So it will become 2. And I will say is column is equals to 8. No, column is not equals to 8. Column is 1. So I will come here and I will check is my board row column is already filled. That means is not equals to empty. Yes, it is not empty. Again one function call. I will do the again one function call board with next row and next column. What is next row? That is 0 comma 2. Now here is the fun thing. Let's see. Is row is equals to 9? No, row is not equals to 9. It is 0. Is next, so let's say next row will be the same row. So now row is changed, right? Row is 0 and column is 2. So next row will be same row, that is 0, and next column will be column plus 1. So that means it will become 3, right? Is your column is equals to 8? No, column is not equals to 8. I will come here and I will check is your board it's not empty? No, it's empty now. So what I will do, I will come to the else part and I will say let's start from 1 to 9. So I will take numbers from 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These all will be my numbers. And basically here my I pointer will start. And I will say check is valid board row column string I is true. So I will try with 1 here, right? And I am not writing is valid here because it will take too much space, but you know the sense of is valid. Okay, so I will try filling 1 here. Can I fill in the complete row? First of all, row check. So there is no 1. Yes, I can fill here. There is no in the column that has an element of 1, so I can fill it here. And let's do a grid check. So 5, 3, 6, 9, 8. Yes, I can fill 1 here. Once I filled it here, right, I will say board row column string I. So I have filled it here. Now I will call again next function, right? So again next function call, that means your work is done. Again call board with the row and next column. So next row is 0 and next column is 3. So I will call with the next row and next column, right? So it will become again row will be 0 and column will be 3. Next row will become same row and next column will become 4, right? And basically I have done this condition, I have done this condition, column is not equals to it. Come here and I will check is my cell is not empty. So no, your cell is empty. So again I will come to else block and I will again start from 1. Again I am starting from 1. So again I will start from 1. and I will check is putting 1 is valid here. So I will check, is it valid to put 1 here? So no, 1 is already there. So I can't fill it. This is not valid. So I will come to false case. Basically, this is not true, right? This is my if condition from here to here, right? So again, I will check with the next number. My I pointer will move to 2. Can I fill 2 here? So let's do the row check. No, 2 is not there. Let's do the column check. No, 2 is also not here. Let's do the grid check. So here also not 2. Yes, you can fill it. So I will come in this case and I will fill with the 2. Once I have filled it, again that one function call, right? Solve board next row and next column. So again I will call this function solve with board next row will be 0 and next column will be 4, right? And similarly, right, I will move here. Let's do a quick check so that you will get the insights, right? Basically how it will happen. So see, 1 I can fill it here. Let's see, I can't fill it here. 1, 2, then 3, no, 4. I guess 4 we can here fill, right? In the row check, no. In the column check, no. Not in the grid check, yes. Similarly, I will move to here. 5, can I fill it? No, I can fill it. 5, 5 is there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can't fill it. 6, can I fill it? No, that is in the grid. 7, can I fill it? That is in the row. 8, yes, 8 I can fill it. So 8 I can fill it. I will move to the next row. Again, I will check 1, can I fill it? 2, can I fill it? No, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Can I fill it? 9? Yes. Not in the row, not in the column and not in the grid. Yes, you can fill it 9. So see, I am filling this. Now I will call this. Now when I am calling this function, what will be this function called? Let's see. And now let's understand. So I will call here solve with the values. So I will call solve with the values of this row and column. So row will be 0 and column will be my last column, that will be 8, right? So let me put here 0 and 8. Okay, and let's complete this thing. Let's make this also 0 and 8. So this is 0 and this is 8. Okay, so I will come here. Is your row is equals to 9? No. Is your next row is so next row will be basically the same row, and next column will be column plus 1. 8 plus 1, 9, right? And I will check, is my column is equals to 8? So yes, column is equals to 8. So now next row will be row plus 1, so it will become 1. And next column will be 0, so next column will update to 0. And now let's see. So I will check, is this is empty? Basically, if it is not empty, so no, this is empty basically. So I won't come under if condition, I will come to else condition and I will start put values from 1 to 9, right? So first I will start 1, okay, and I will check, is it valid to put 1 here? So see, not valid. Then I will check with 2, is 2 is valid to put 2 here? No, it's not. Then I will check 3, is 3 is valid? No. Then I will check 4, right? Simply you can see if condition is false continuously false, and I am checking, like I am simply doing I plus plus and I am simply calling other like another functions again and again, another functions. Okay, so 4 is also not possible. Similarly 5 is also not possible. Similarly 6 is also not possible because this is in the grid. 7 is not possible because it is here in the row. 8 is also not possible here in the row. 9 is also not possible here in the row. After 9, right, the value will become here I 10 and this condition will break and I will come to here and I will return false, right? So I will return false to which function? To the previous function that I have called. So here this won't be 0 and 8. Let me say what will be the function, previous function. If I calling 0 comma 8, the previous function would be 0 comma 7. So I will call that previous function here, right? And when I'm calling this, because I'm returning false, so that means I am returning this as a false, right? This was 0 comma 7, so I'm returning this false. When this false is true, that means, right, this condition basically I will execute this line of code. And what is this line of code? That means again makes it empty. So I will again makes it empty, right? So again this will be blank, right? Once I have made this blank, right, again I will check all the values. Basically after this if condition, again I will check, I will come here, for loop I will check here. So basically what the last value I have filled, 9, right? So can I say here I have filled 9 and now this is empty, and after this I condition 9 is also done, right? 9 is also done, the value will be 10 here, right? So I will be is equals to 10, but again that's a false condition, right? This is breaking. Again you will come to here, false. So you will again return false to which function? To the last function, right? So again 0 comma, basically let's see this here. I have called 0 comma 8. 0 comma 8 return false to which function? 0 comma 7. And now 0 comma 7 is also returning false to which function? 0 comma 6, right? So I am basically calling this function 0 comma 6 where we have just now put it 8. Okay, and now let's see again. See, so when I'm returning false to 0 comma 6, right, this condition is false. So again what I will do, I will make it empty. So this 8 will again will be empty, right? So this will be empty now. Once this is empty, I will because see, after this condition I will do the again, right, I plus plus. After 8 I will check with the 9. After 8 I will check with the 9. I will check is 9 can be placed here. So I will check here, 5 3 1 2 4, there is row check, nothing 9 here, there is also nothing 9 here, and that is not in the grid. So yes, I can put 9 here. Once I am getting is valid is 9, I will put here, this condition will execute, and again one function call. So again now I will call next row and next column. So again I will do the function next row and next column, which will be from 0 comma 6 to again 0 comma 7, right? And after this again I will check, right? Basically let's see, when I'm calling with 0 comma 7, row is 0, column is 7, right? Next row would be same 0, and next column will be 7 plus 1 8, right? So here I will say next row is same row, next column is basically column plus 1, 7 plus 1 8, and if column is equals to 8, like here column is 7, if column is equals to 8, simply come to here, right? So column is not equals to 8, basically I will say is it already filled, right? So that is also not filled, right? This block, that is also not filled. I will come here and again I will check all the values, right? So again I will check, start from 1 to 9. So I will start with 1, 1 can't be filled, then 2 can't be filled here, 3 can't be filled here, 4 can't be filled, 5 cannot filled here, 6 cannot filled because of this, 8 cannot filled because of this, and 9 cannot filled because of this. So yes, again, right, all the iterations I have done, like all these iterations up to 9, right? So again, after this, what I will do, I will come from the for loop and I will return false. So again, this 0 comma 7 will return false to here, 6, right? And what was the last value that we have filled to 6, right? This is 6, right? If I put indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, what was the last value that I have filled? 9, right? So that means I can't place now 9 also, because see, false will be come here to the last function 0 comma 6, false will be come here because this function called it. When this is false, again I will make it empty, and once I have made it empty, I have checked all the values up to 9. So again I will return false to which? This function. So again this function will return false to which function? 0 comma 5, right? Now I will check this function, right? 0 comma 5, and what was the last value that I have filled? 4, right? What was the last value I have filled? 4 here. So again I will check now with the value of 5. Basically when I am returning from a function, right, 0 comma 5, that's a false. Again what I will do, I will make it empty, because this condition will execute. I will make this empty and I will check for the other values. So I will check for the 5, then 6. So 5 I can't fill here, 6 I can, here I can fill 6. So I will check with 6, and again this series will continue, right? So basically this is how it is working, right? I hope you got the sense. We can't do the whole complete grid because it will take too much time, but again now you are getting like how we are basically placing all the elements, right? So if we do it correctly, here I will fill with value of 4, then here I will fill with value of 6, then 8, and this will happen. Now let me tell you what will happen at the end so that you will get some sense here. Basically, see, I will first fill this one, then 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 this one. Right? Once I have reached here, I will execute if column is equals to 8, row will be row plus 1 and 0. So I will fill this one, then this one, then this one. Like similarly, I will fill this one. And how I will get reach to this end, basically, I will call this function again and again, right? These functions, and it will call next thing, next thing, next thing, right? And I will reach to here. When I am reaching to here, and see, when I will say that this is basically this is not equals to empty, I will call next row and next column. So now next row will be ninth row and I will return true. So when I will here reaching to here and I will return true, so I will return true to here. Once this is returning true, right? Once suppose here I am returning getting true because this function is called basically, or suppose this function is called. So if this function is called, it will return true to here, right? And then I will return true to here. So I am getting true here. Once this condition is true, so this will also return true back, right? And this will also return true in the all the cases, right? When this will be filled completely, in all the cases I will simply return true and I will reach here. So you can see now whenever I am returning false, I am doing this change, right? And I am doing this change. And when I am getting false, only when this for loop is done and I am returning false. Because once you have done all with values up to 9 and still there is empty, so that means that's a false that you have added, so that will return false. Okay. So basically this is how we will solve this problem, and once you have done return true, your board will automatically be filled. Okay. And this was our isValid function. So I hope this is completely clear to you, because what we are doing, we are simply doing in a row check. So if I put it here, so what I will do, what I'm doing here, I am simply checking the row. Basically row is fixed here 0, and I'm checking basically each column one by one like this, right? Then column check. So I am, suppose I put here, I am checking all these things, right? And when I am here, I is less than 3, grid check. So basically I am checking start row and start column, and I am checking all these values right here. Or maybe if I am at here, I am checking all these values. So yeah, this is how you can solve this problem. Now, what will be the time and space complexity here? So see, I am filling all these values, right? I am filling basically each value of my grid, right? And my grid is 9 cross 9. And in each, basically in each cell, right? In each cell, I am calling 9 functions because I am checking with each one of the case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So suppose if I am assuming that grid is not 9 cross 9, it is n cross n, right? So the time complexity will be n cross n into 9, and then the time complexity will be 9 into n cross n, right? So basically here I am filling n cross n, right? The basically n cross n grid, right? And that's why the time complexity will be n cross n into 9. Now what will be the space complexity? So space complexity will depends on the, again, recursion stack, right? Basically first recursion stack, how you are calling all these functions. So if I am calling this one, then this is calling this one, then this, then this. So the maximum recursion call will also be of n cross n stack, right? And if I talk about the space complexity here, right? Space complexity. So first of all, what I have taken, so board was already given. So we won't take basically space because board was already given. So we are simply filling with the board, but there will be n cross n function calls in, you can see here 0, 0, from 0, 1, then 0, 2, then 0, 3, then 0, 4, and like each function call will call the next one, next one, next one. So there will be total big of n cross n as in space complexity. So time complexity will be 9 into n cross n, right? If n is the basically board length, right? So here it is fixed. That's why I have put it n equals to 9, right? But if it is suppose not 9, if you are taking something else, then it will be 4 cross 4 into 9, something like this. So that is the time complexity, that is the space complexity. And I hope you enjoyed this problem. This is one of the hardest problem on the Leetcode. Okay, please try to solve it. It's a bit lengthy, but it's very intuitive. Okay, if you know backtracking and stuff, you can easily solve this problem. So that's all for today. Thank you and see you in the next video.